have no box. Why is there no fucking box on this bitch? See how it fucking disappears? Isn't that bullshit? This shit fuck. The 15-minute footprint's so much better. This said 7 o'clock. So this is the U.S. media tearing down the movement. No matter what, damn. Because they always are for the brokers making money, man. They're always with the brokers. Just listen to what they fucking
strategies
say,
on the high flying. I could have helped them interject. Government started buying the yen, and all of a sudden that 3-day pop not holding, and this trend is not the trend you want to be seeing.
But then, why now is this happening? These concerns have been around for a while. Is it the lack of other catalysts in markets, or how big of a role is the AI story playing here? We've got Alphabet kicking off its latest multi-billion-dollar Australian debt sale as well.
Lizzie, first of all, I like the misery going around the world idea. I think that's perfectly put, and I think it's actually a triple storm, or a perfect storm, if you will. One is the AI hyperscalers raising debt, including Alphabet coming to Australia. I mean, they've raised about $1.5 trillion worth of debt this year alone. That is the most since the pandemic. So I think that is weighing on sentiment. That is providing the immediate catalyst for the yields higher. And, we are just at the start of the AI capex cycle, as you know, and I think that, there's lots more to come from the hyperscalers, and therefore, this spending is going to continue for the next 4 or 5 years, and I think that will have an impact on treasury yields, because if fund managers who can migrate between the treasuries and investment grade debt are going to overweight investment grade debt, and therefore the spread between investment grade yields and treasuries is going to narrow, because treasury yields are going to climb higher. And then you've got the perfect combination of deficits that are unchecked, inflation that has been uncontained for 5 years now. So if you put all those heady things into the cocktail mix, it's a pretty potent combination, and that's why we are seeing what we are seeing in the markets.
So what's the thing then, that will put a ceiling on yields?
Well, I think that, we saw, the 10-year visit to 5% levels in 2023. We have come off those levels. We've never gone back, and we are still quite a bit far away from those levels. But I think that if we get to 5% on the 10-year, that will push up the 30-year as well by sheer correlations, and that will be an interesting entry point for many people who are thinking that, look, these are yields that are too tempting, and that may clear the market, because that may see a short-term equilibrium there. So I think that we are some way off those levels, as I mentioned, but I think those levels are staring in the face of bond investor.
So maybe to say this in layman's terms, right now there is a absolutely gigantic demand. Let me go to the 10-year. There's a huge demand for capital. The U.S. government, we run at a massive deficit. If you look at Europe and Japan, well, they're obviously going to be in their own complicated situations, but it all nets out to a lot amount of borrowing. So there's a demand from the U.S. side, there's a demand from Europe, there's a demand from Japan. So on the global scale, there was already demand, and that's getting fueled more by, obviously, the conflict that we are currently seeing, specifically in Iran with the U.S. So that's on the global scale. Then also on the global scale, but looking at equities, we're all seeing it. I mean, what was the number this year alone? I think the major tech players have tried to raise $220 billion in capex. They're all accelerating their capex to keep up with this AI demand. So that's more capital demand. Look at NVIDIA, Google, Tesla. Everyone's like exploding their capex. So you have that on just the AI side. Related to the AI side, you also have data centers. That's going to take more capital. And then we don't talk about it much here, but it is a very fair thing to bring up. Right now, there is an enormous reinvestment just in utilities back into the grid. So across the board, for many, many reasons, there's a huge demand for capital. When there's such a demand for capital, obviously what happens when you have increased demand and finite supply? Well, the cost of that underlying thing, and in this case we're talking about money, goes up. So we haven't really dove into the specifics here, and I know I focus on Iran, sometimes we're talking about AI, but it all goes into one pot of why, for various reasons, capital, moolah, the greenbacks, are in massive demand. When that demand keeps rising, well, the cost of that is going to go up, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Right now, yields are spiking, so these bond prices are getting very, very low. That's what happens when you have demand, and if it keeps going, it's only so far until something breaks, which is why there's such a conversation about what's going on here with the US dollar JPY, with the yen, USD versus the yen, because it did recently hit a forward-decade.
If you own bonds, your sellings are at 5%. That's all they get until they go back down. You buy them at negative 4%.
Affair, and we're already trending right back.
So the market's kind of fucked in that situation.
We're talking about yields and bond prices and inflation and monetary policy. That takes place over multiple quarters, if not multiple years. So for my day traders, for what's going on today, there's nothing really scheduled. Obviously, there's some major news as it relates to Iran and individual companies that you should be aware of. This is part of the newsletter. If you're not signed up for the newsletter, sign up. But if you just need that little cheat sheet for earnings, Home Depot came out this morning. We could dive into that after market open. We're actually very rapidly running out of time. Klarna, Target, TJX, Lowe's, a lot of that stuff. And I have an interesting update on Anthropic and also on Meta that I want to circle back to, but we are running out of time as Piper is joining the show right for market open. Please, in a comment, let me know what you guys want up on the right side. Do you guys want up Micron and SanDisk again? They were the high flyers from yesterday. Do you want NVIDIA? Do you want Tesla? What do you guys want? Please comment below somewhere. Help me out. Tell me what equities you want on the screen. I'm more than happy to put up whatever.
Diggity ding ding ding! The world's largest casino
open.
is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun.
All right, as the market is opening, I do want to let you know there are some upside gap fills. So we now have a
He's calling
gap
outside
fill
gap fills.
to 701.59 on
Oh
the
my
Qs,
God.
the ETF tracking the Nasdaq, and then there's an upside gap fill to yesterday's low at 729 and some change. So we have both an up and a downside gap fill within proximity on QQQ. If you look at the SPY, similar situation. There's a downside gap fill to 758, and Piper, you are very much in the way. You're being a little bit rude. This is the start of the show. Just hang out with me. No, just chill. Just chill. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. All right, just chill. Right there. Where is his hand? We'll run that out of hands. Hey, just calm down. She's just lashing out. She doesn't like when the market falls like this. She is a permeable, so she gets a little antsy when things go a bit red. It's just not her favorite way of engaging with the market. I stop this. Anyway, 758 downside gap fill on SPY, 772 upside gap fill. You know, we're starting to see a little bit of a bid. If you ask me, we're in a really strange zone where it doesn't make the most sense that this was such a delayed sell-off, and then the size of the sell-off in the short term is a bit dramatic, and now we're just playing this double gap situation. We broke this upward sloping trend line on SPX. If you want to know the gap on SPX,
gnarly.
upside gap fill is 7610, upside gap fill 7745, so two gaps to watch there. So gaps everywhere. Everywhere you look, gap. That's just the situation we are currently in. NVIDIA not doing much. SanDisk catching a bid, but still down by 4%. Micron catching a bid, but still down by 3.8. The actual only green thing I'm seeing on my watch list is Netflix. Piper, this is a professional show for serious people. You know that. I feel like she just sometimes doesn't respect everything that I do. Okay. Got it. Just read.
I'm only using a 50-cent tick, and I'm up 150, 27,150.
So where are we out of the gate? A little
So
2-minute pause.
$2,150.
Netflix was green. Someone said Broadcom.
Double
What's
bottom
going on
here.
with Broadcom down by 2.2%. I actually might have to cut my Broadcom position. I have time. I have a lot of time on Broadcom. I have a lot of time on Netflix. Maybe I just need to wait and see how today actually shakes out with these
Ooh,
cash
yeah.
flows. Are you calm now? She's just chilling now at this point. She's just taking a little bit of a chill pill.
The triple. Remember, this is the triple we're looking at. So what do? You're watching this.
You want to go on your bed?
That's the triple. And Matt's always blowing accounts and stuff like the rest
to
of us.
remind us all, when in doubt, zoom out.
That's right. When in doubt, zoom out. Guy, I'm on a 30-minute.
Like, is blocking
You
out.
gotta watch the
What are you
footprint
doing?
chart.
Why do you keep coming back to right there? What's going on? Talk to us. Talk to
I
me.
mean-
Talk to the crowd. Say hi to all your fans. What is?
Hold on a second. Here, let's fix this. What's unique about my stream? Right?
So today we have to do it. I've been avoiding this conversation for years. I don't think.
What's unique about my stream? Right?
So today we have to do it. I've been avoiding this conversation for years.
What the fuck? Oh no, it's the wrong one. I gotta clean the vent on that again. It's a lot for it because we're live and I'm trying to adjust it. Like, how do you get that to save? Looks like it's going back
What is
up.
happening right now? Are you really that perturbed about the market open? It's not that bad. Trump already promised 1 minute, 3 minutes. All the momentum is bearish. Let me show you.
Really?
This. Right here. Here's on the screen right now is the ES contract. That's for the S&P 500 futures contract. 1 minute's bearish, 5 minutes bearish, 10 minutes bearish, 30 minutes bearish. Looking at the Nasdaq, 1 minute is testing. 5 minute got rejected. 10 minute kind of got rejected, and 30 minutes.
Got this
is
720
bearish.
level.
Here's a look at flow thus far on the day. not so good. A little bit of a hit just to the downside. Looking at the Mag 7, actually oddly
400.
flat, given how
See that
red it is.
400
And then
down?
Looking at the Nasdaq,
You
actually
can't
kinda
beat
trending
this
up. The
footprint
Nasdaq's
chart.
trending
It's
up right
it's
now.
just incredible.
And it is put selling. So it's not bullishness. It's not like people are coming in and YOLOing calls, but it does look like people are selling puts. So maybe they're selling to open. If I had to guess, and we won't know this to the end of the day, I would assume it's people who had puts locking in profits. I bet it's selling to close, but once again, that's just a guess on mine. I guess on my side. Okay. If you guys haven't been here before, or you need a reminder, I do like to wait for the market to open. I find that that
It gets through the 726 and we're in. Watch.
best trades are when I'm not doing it right away and have some sort of structure to play off to put into context of how
Breaker block.
companies that's
This is the breaker block to here, so
Calculate things differently.
I point out that there's a number of AI stocks on the move to the upside this morning. The other data point that's interesting is positive adjusted operating income.
Told
which
you,
Anthropic
see
says,
that?
I guess is making everyone feel good.
90
that
ticks I
software won't
just
be
hit.
internet forever. But the comparison to OpenAI
Nice.
are really interesting because we put this
just
in context
$302
Yes,
away
it's still
from.
fun.
this year, then maybe next year. as
I got
well.
one more day after today.
On the timeline for that.
Remember, upside gap fill on QQQ to 72927.
It's going.
I'm trading at 721. But also downside gap fill.
These two reports that we've done recently, this most recent one on Anthropic, and then the other recent one we had on OpenAI, and how their revenue is increasing. If we look at them individually and then try to compare them to each other, because as I said, with ARR, at least they're calculating them in different ways, so it's certainly not an apples-to-apples comparison. It looks like each company is showing investors and potential investors better information than it could have just a month or two ago. And so that
A
could
little
be
bit
really
of a pop
positive
there.
sign for an IPO.
What about the technology side? Where we
Nice.
with Anthropic and OpenAI and sort of the cadence of them releasing the latest frontier models?
Should go all the way.
Business focuses on.
Yeah, it's been kind of interesting to watch that unfold over like the last 6 months or so as these companies move closer to a potential IPO.
Here's book map
You're
above my head.
seeing them sort of refocus or focus, more intently on certain aspects of the business.
$200
Even
left.
OpenAI, we're still seeing a cadence of releases, but we're seeing less of an array of things, which is interesting. It'll be even, I think, more clear as we go forward more this year, but we're also going to see the company continue to focus on things that it thinks are important, both on the consumer and the enterprise side, because those are both really big businesses for it. With Anthropic, I bet we can expect to see a lot more on the coding side, probably science side as well. Maybe see that at both companies, both of those two things. But I think we're going to see a lot of that sort of stuff happening, this sort of coding, perhaps science, and maybe some other support-related applications that we
We're
haven't
waking
seen
up.
yet.
Tesla's
Or-
going, Microsoft is going. Little overshoot, little double bottom. So gives you an idea of Anthropic, keeping you guys in the loop because they are expected to IPO sooner rather than later. One company that's currently under pressure is Meta. Meta faces astronomical consequences as legal fight reaches critical moment in California. Not good. Meta stares down $1 trillion threat as landmark social media trial begins.
So a federal trial, a jury trial, Balash. What is the court tasked with examining and ultimately answering here?
Well, it boils down to one thing, Lonnie. whether these algorithms were designed to get people, get
No.
children hooked on social media, whether
They
they were
obviously are.
designed to start some compulsive behavior. So this is different from the previous debates, which mostly looked at content, and ultimately the courts found that that content was protected, so there was no recourse for the state over the content on these social media platforms. These are now coming at it from a consumer protection angle and trying to find whether the design of these algorithms have violated those state statutes on consumer protections. We're talking about the endless scroll, we're talking about the recommendations. They're trying to find whether there was anything untoward the way those were designed. There's a secondary question about data protection, which is a federal statute, whether these platforms that are Meta handle the minors' data without the consent of their parents, whether that ran afoul of some federal laws. So those are the two main things the court is going to be looking at in this one.
It's going to be an incredible trial to follow, and arguments that will, I'm sure, be just extraordinary. Now, we talk about the penalty being as much as potentially $1.4 trillion, but what would likely happen?
They're trying to
Meta
break
if it
social
were to be
media.
found liable
$1
or
trillion.
guilty or whatever the term
Now
would
in
be here?
April.
Well, the 1.4 trillion is obviously an astronomical figure that comes right up to the market value of the company. Now, legal analysts that we talked to tell us that is probably mostly for shock value, to get people's attention and to show the symbolic nature of this trial. But it is based on some calculation of the number of people potentially harmed and then putting a dollar value on each of them. But if they do have to, if they are found liable in this trial, then they, at the very least, will have to change the way they operate. They will have to change the algorithms, and that has wide-ranging consequences for the entire industry. Where the actual penalty might end up, that's very early to speculate, but certainly that 1.4 trillion does grab people's attention.
And just, Balazs, how long are we expecting this court case to last, roughly?
Failed breakout.
At least a few weeks.
Double
There will
top.
be testimony. There will be deliberations. We will hear from several states. We will hear from Meta, of course. So this will be a relatively lengthy trial. But as you said, it's going to be fascinating to follow along.
So Meta, as he kind of alluded to right there at the end, it's going to take a while, but this is a very, very serious court case where, of course, they're not going to spend $1 trillion in fines, but not looking so good. Not looking so good, especially when the question is, did they intentionally create algorithms to be addictive? Yeah, that's what every social media company does. So, interesting to point out, interesting to note. And what's interesting now is we had a failed breakout on the Qs at this initial high right here. Not so good at 9:40, 10 minutes into it. Maybe it's a double bottom low, but kind of watching this zone on the top, and then of course watching the intraday low here. If you look on the SPY, it was just a double top rejection effectively. It overshot it by a little bit, and then let's watch this low. So let's see what's happening here. These are the zones I watch. Obviously, this early in the day, there's just not much data to go off of. Heck, we only have 15 minutes worth of data, so we're gonna see. Day.
Order filled.
What did I just do? Not a fan. I see what it's looking at, but come on, Phil. Phil.
Order filled.
Got the fill. All right, so that was actually my second trade of the day. I did have a pre-market trade. I was testing things out, and I saw a setup. So, Matt, did you break a rule? Yeah, I technically broke a rule. I did wait, but whatever, 2 for 2, and I kept my risk in control. I was trading with Tread, yada, yada, yada. So technically 2 for 2 on the day. One of these was very early in the day. Can I even oh, right here. You can see, 8:13, basically saw this double bottom, fake out, breakout, starts to bump up. I see a recent low, see a little bit of life, get a horrible fill, knock it anyway, and then my favorite people are very, very dropping. Very clearly dropping, I should say. Anyway, that trade was at 8, so that was my first trade of the day. And then my second trade was the one just executed on this breakdown of the low. Could be an overshoot. We had an overshoot already. This could be a second overshoot, but obviously, maybe I can see it better here. Zoom out a little bit. Right here, it punctured it, popped up. I said I didn't like it because I like the short better at 79. This was very delayed to get into the 213 points, but I liked it a little bit better on this breakdown at like 946. But anyway, whatever. 200 is 200, and I feel like I just need to be a lot more calm and maybe don't have such lofty expectations anywhere from whatever. 200 to 500 bucks a day. If there's enough setups, hey, trade more. If there's not many setups, be happy with 200. I think ever since coming back from Fraternity D, one of my biggest issues is I just need to be okay. With not making that much, like this idea, and I don't know if you guys feel this pressure, but not only from streaming, I think I would be this way honestly without streaming. I feel like when I go green, I just have this pressure to always go more. Like, hey, 200 was easy, go for 400. Oh, 400 was easy, why would you not go for 500? I feel like I get into this where, like, if I'm doing well and making money, I get rapidly wrapped up in this idea.
You learn an hour or 4 hour, you can just count the double bottoms and stuff, and it's so easy to see that it's not changing direction. That makes sense to you?
Really wrong.
There's thousands of people going south, but I'm not.
The mindset is, okay, the money is, the market is easy money right now. You need to make money to pay off all those times that the market is difficult and you're not making money. But where it falls apart is that's fine on the surface level, but where this thought process falls apart is if you're just overdoing it, and all of a sudden you start taking trades that aren't the good setups, you're trading in a time period that maybe that's not where your system performs, and like it falls apart. So as much as that sounds reasonable on the surface level, it's not. And I feel like these times where I have periods of success,
Wash your dishes,
I just
do
push
your
it too
laundry,
far,
guys.
and then that causes me to have periods of failure, and then I get angry at myself, and then I start doing things that are not the system, too much size, and I break all my rules, and it's as far away from being a disciplined trader as you could possibly be. So I don't know what trader you're going to get from me today. Granted, I do have on my lucky Buffalo shirt, so maybe we'll get lucky. But man, this is really heading right back down. Even this, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It was a higher quality trade up here after break of 80. You can't see it that much on the 1 minute chart, but that's a lot of wicking right back up.
Fuck that.
Why is ABGO selling off? Have you seen the entire market? Everything is red except for Netflix. What do you mean? It's just, this is a market sell-off, dude. You can probably see it better here. I mean, why ask about individual companies when the whole tech sector is red? Look at semiconductors, all red. Technology, all red. There's green in healthcare. There's green in energy, consumer defensive. But if you're a person looking at the tech sector, which is probably most people's interest, right here, technology, not software, but semiconductors and computer hardware getting destroyed, and communication and electronic components. Like, there's a clear clustering of red, and there's a clear clustering of green. Healthcare is green, energy, consumer defensive, but for ADGO, like, you're naming one semiconductor. You look at all semiconductors, they're all red. This is interesting. We're right in some we have a higher low in a region of support. What is the option for? Nasdaq was up, kind of trending down slightly. Mag setting did pop until about 941, coming down. And then the S&P 500 got hit, gone flat, and now it's trending back down. 1 minute, try to go bullish, not bearish. 5 minutes, same thing. 10 minutes, same thing. 30 minutes, clearly bearish. Nasdaq, try to go bullish, got knocked. Same thing on the 5, same thing on the 10, 30 minutes, clearly bearish. The gap on the daily for the upside, Matt, it's there on SPX. There's two gaps. What are you talking about? There's a gap to 7744, and there's a gap down to 7610. There's a gap to the upside, there's a gap to the downside. The same thing is true for Nasdaq. There's a gap to the upside, there's a gap to the downside. So you're right in saying there is a gap, but the way you're saying it, I want to be clear that there's a gap that favors the bulls and there's a gap that favors the bears. There are two gaps actively in play right now. Did you ever get the Apex payout? No, I'm still awaiting communication with the company. I've had no official communication on the state of the payout beyond the fact that I need to speak with them. When I get that way, I go from making 200,000 before I stop and blow away. Yeah, I noticed that my best trading periods, oddly enough, with Apex, a lot of that was make the $1,000 and step away. I noticed that it was a lot of like high-end or higher-end consistency, where it was make a grand, step away, make a grand, step away. Never really trying to like swing for the fences, which I think sometimes these prop firms that have uncapped consistency, maybe it's a little bit tricky because you're like, well, it's uncapped. If it's a good day, keep going. But maybe it doesn't say you're right. You know, at least me, I can't speak for you because this is psychology. This isn't really market mechanics. Psychology of it. Like I just sit there and I'm like,
What's the bottom, huh?
Try to make
Who knows the bottom, guys?
It doesn't really end that well. We are below RTH VWAP, which is just below 700, and then 800 is session VWAP. So we're below both VWAPs, and momentum, price momentum, is red across all major intraday trading time periods.
Look
1
at that.
minute,
Thousands
5
of
minute,
people in this.
1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute bearish, 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute bearish. There are gaps. I mean, this could reverse on a moment's notice, but right now, I'm not seeing the strongest flow. And if we zoom in, there's, depending on how today plays out, you can see to 4 p.m. this could be a dip. Not a huge dip on top of where we are now, but there's basically negative gamma up to 7740, and there could be negative gamma all the way down to like 7665, 70. So like it's a bit weird today, but I am kind of paying attention to this negative gamma node. Is there a chance that we can come up through it, or is it going to stall out and then later on today when this gamma ramps up?
I bought it. It
gamma
looks
picks
good
up
on the 4
exponentially
hour.
to close? As this gamma node in the bottom grows, is there going to be pressure to the downside? There is a bit of support right at 700 flat, which is effectively where we are right now. Here are my key levels on the day.
Look at the
I forgot
4
to show
hour.
this to you guys, but with SPX, we opened up at 1 at 710. Then there's a
put the
key
4 hour on.
psychological
I think we're going
level
up.
at 700, and actually that's building out as a key gamma level. This was not here at first, but
You
you
see
can
this over here?
700 and 790. We are getting a pocket of
Move.
support getting built underneath. Now, will that support
I don't
hold?
know what the
mean,
fuck
your
happened.
guess
What
is
the
as good
fuck?
as mine, but I am living
Over here, you see this level?
785. This is a small region of
It
support.
won't
It's a
fucking
small
move, but you know
pocket
how it
gamma node,
is.
And then if that cracks,
It's a 6 hour on.
we'll see how far this
You'll
can
see it.
actually go.
Let's look to
Netflix
the
is
left.
good.
That's all.
Have you better results with structure based on stocks
Yeah.
or ATR based? I don't get the question. Have you better results with structure based stops or ATR? So you're.
Oh, well,
It depends.
fuck
I have
that
systems
shit.
that use both. I can't definitively say one is better because some of my systems work better with just a hard coded stop, like a specific number. Some of them are recent swings and some of them are ATR.
That wasn't the
So
bottom.
I'm not here to preach that one is better than the other. I think one is better than the other depending on your system.
We'll see.
Why is it better to trade your
Go to the
prop
30
account rather
minute.
than your
I don't
own
know.
account? Well, there's nuances. It's not like it's all perfectly better, but the advantages of a prop account are less risk to you as a trader and more leverage. So, basically, if you have a system that can survive the nuanced rules of prop trading, the potential return on investment is considerably higher. Everything is selling off. It's nothing. It will go up soon. Again, well, what do you mean by soon? Of course it will go up, but are you saying soon as in
There we
today,
go.
this
I
week,
told
this
you
month?
guys.
It's really easy to say things like the market will go up, the market will go down. Both of those statements are true.
You understand what you're
The
looking at
difficult
there?
part is the
I'm
timing.
in right here.
So when people are perma bulls or perma bears, eventually there's going to be a day where hang on, I do like this reversal fake out breakdown. there's going to be either a red day or a green day that you can point to and say, yeah, I was right. That's just always inherently true. It's not like we only go up or we only go down.
For some reason I didn't sell. It's 55 ticks up, but
like you get paid to be.
I think we're going up, and I got it on the 30 minute. That was the shoulder,
You're saying
a head, shoulder, now we're headed to the waistline.
Without a
Like
doubt.
74,
You're not
680.
able to dispute that for the overall market. But if you're
Maybe.
talking about a short or medium time frame, I don't think that those types of predictions really matter unless you're like actually giving us the time frame with the prediction of, oh, it will go up in the next week. It will go up in the next month. It's so timed. Are you talking about the next minute? Are you talking about the next week? Like, what's the time frame associated with it? I think that's incredible.
Just midnight, you gotta like,
Interesting situation. Deviation.
No,
between
that
the
midnight.
S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is clearly
up here.
The SPY put in a higher low, trying to bounce for the third time off the support area, just in the realm of the lower 768 zone. This Q's overshot it.
The SPY's pulled back up, is that what you just said?
Uh-oh, what are they doing today? What are they doing today? Is this actually going to try to get going? We overshot this region of support. Is it a little bit of a fake out? The way we had this fake out breakout already this morning, are we having a fake out breakdown? It did break this trend line, but now it's fighting right back up to it. Very interesting if it can recover 680. Very interesting if it can recover 700. That would favor the bulls, pushing it back. Let's just call it 750 for now, back up to this region. But for now, are we breaking down? Is this support going to turn into resistance and we fail? Or is this just an overshoot, a dirty bearish trick, and then all of a sudden we pop right back out? Time will tell. I have no unique prediction, but I'm just, I guess, waiting here to see if there's a viable play off of it, a positive EV play that we can see off this zone. But I mean, it's looking like a brutal fake out right there. A quick little 1 minute bar low, we take out the high and it pops anyway. Seems like it could have been a brutal trap. There was a lot of buyers at 600. We never actually got to 600. The intraday low is 604, but we might be returning there now. We might be failing in this zone. Remember, when we come to these important battle zones, that's what they are. They're a battle zone. You shouldn't be predicting who wins the battle. It's just a battle, and our job should be to sit here patiently, especially as day traders, and just wait to see. And remember, as day traders, especially as retail day traders, we're not influencing the market. That's just not what we have the capability of doing. We just don't trade enough size unless we have like secret billionaires in here. Our job is to wait for the proper setups and just ride with the big fish and get our money and then move on with our lives. So all I'm telling you is big players are fighting this out right now, and we're going to wait to see who actually wins it. Netflix is climbing, trimming down. I'm actually surprised I did not go short on that. Very surprised. Why? Maybe it just didn't drop enough.
I just believe in the exchange. We'll bring it up.
It wicked out of the zone again. I guess just not enough. Maybe it's looking for something closer to 610. I thought this wick down would have been enough to get me in. But apparently not. Apparently not yet. We'll see. It's seemingly pressing. Broke the trend line, came back up in the region of support. All right, let's see if we can check out
Doesn't
the
matter. It's
overflow
what's
this
over
one.
here that's doing this.
Ran into some buyers.
Always
that
look
got
left.
absorbed
Put like
right
a
there
day chart
in the
on
last
and you'll
minute.
see this is probably our
It
biggest
could be the 10 a.m.
watch. This
Maybe
day
that was the
chart.
craziness of this bar. Just the fact that it was exactly 10 a.m. We're wicking low, 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 but we're also wicking high, 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 high. Which way does this one actually want to break? Little pop. These people got trapped. These people got trapped. We just have to have that patience. Little 10 a.m.
Just a little bit
jockey.
more.
Might be the 10 a.m. reversal. I'm not here at all to pitch that it happens every single day. Someone just smacked it at this little dash line, the value area. But where's the point of controls? Interesting. Smack right there.
See how the day chart's gonna help you?
We're coming up to RTH VWAP 84, 85, which is roughly in line with this. What are we doing? This orange dash line on your screen is the RTH VWAP, and then we have the
So it's
blue
pulling
dash
back.
line, which is 50% of the current days from 9:30 open in the current day's range. Hard pop up there. And we're at 1 VWAP. Where's the next VWAP? It's quite a bit higher. It's 787, so it's 100 points above where we are. There's two VWAPs I
Oh,
mainly
shit.
pay attention to. RTH VWAP,
Hey, I
at 9:30,
graduated.
and then Session VWAP, which starts at 6 p.m. ET to 94. So those are the two main VWAPs I personally pay attention to. This is a nice climb to 700. Alright, checking this out. 1 minute's trying to get going. It's trying to get back out of this region. A little fake out, breakout at 9. Breakdown, excuse me, at 9:55. Trying to recover. Can this be the start up to 750? Or is it just going to get smashed? How is the S&P 500 looking?
See that? That's some good trading, huh?
Netflix is climbing.
Damn, boy.
Still pretty red. Upside down.
Isn't it crazy how mean my family is?
That's a very interesting target if the bulls can actually get
Look
going
at that.
here.
78.
This SPX for multiple times.
That's a lot.
bounced off
I
the
usually don't have them losses. I don't even remember any losses.
Can it get back above this node and can it take out this region here?
That's just how it works, bro.
Can it actually get going? We're like right teetering on. Does it actually want to go? Or is it just going to get, this is a big decision point. We ran into the 50 EMA, the 100 EMA on NQ. We ran into what, the 10 on SPX, but just kind of watching the
All right,
structure
guys.
here.
There's a combine.
Who's it gonna
Want-
be? Who's gonna
Want a
win?
combine again.